Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RAMBOMANIA, the final episode of year one, and we're going to kick it off in style with Mr. Wallace Lee, author protege. I gotta say, oh boy, wow. Working with Wallace has just been really incredible. Really incredible. The stuff that this guy pulls out of his brain is just amazing. So, it just, what better way to finish off the year than with Wallace, author of Rambo Year 1, available for free share, and that's coming soon to English translation, I must add. It's amazing to me. It's amazing. Wallace wrote some of these amazing short stories. He's working on his novella series, or novel series, based on the Rambo prequel. And it's just amazing to me that he can write all these books. I think it's 5 books, I think he said. And not only that, but he's translating all of them from Italian to English, which is an incredible feat. Incredible. He's given us a little behind the scenes, dropped us a couple of excerpts from the new translation and everything, and this guy is amazing. This is just amazing. He's really going above and beyond what any author would do. And make no mistakes about this, Wallace is doing this for free. Wallace isn't getting paid for this. He's doing it as a labor of love to the fans and to the people who respect the genre, and to Rambo fans around the world. So I just got to give credit where credit is due. Wallace, man, there's just nothing this guy can't do. And everybody should be learning from this. Everybody should be, seeing it. If you have a dream, and if you have a vision, and sometimes the best way to do it is by yourself, to get it out there, And it's just, I just can't say enough good things about this. It's really hard for anyone to have to endure not only writing, a series of novels, but then having to translate it to a native form of tongue. So I gotta say, Wallace, thank you. I really appreciate this. I can't wait to pick up, the first installment when it comes to the English translation. And I love his writing so much that I was even gonna put copy paste into the Google Translator from Italian to English to read it. But I'm really thankful that he's doing this. It's just amazing. You're gonna get your comeuppance, man. People are definitely gonna start paying more attention to this. This is a fantastic, just a fantastic look into what came before, And make no mistakes, Wallace really does write at a level that is just completely out of the box. He does his research, he researches everything. He's got all these really cool videos on this, and he even did a little strategy guide and gave us a little thumbs up nod to us on the strategy guide. And we're going to put some links to all this. I don't know if his strategy guide's on YouTube yet. I know he sent it to me in the Dropbox format. So maybe it just hasn't come out yet. But it's some really great stuff. Really great stuff. Last time we discussed his Lyle short. And we also had him on for a Q&A. This time, actually, I'm making a mistake. Last time we talked about the Lyle short story. We had Wallace on for a Q&A. This is the new Lyle Q&A. So, without further ado, let's start the Q&A with the great Wallace Lee. So Wallace Lee couldn't be here in person or on Skype or anything. So we're going to be doing this in a written format, kind of like what we just did with Brent. And I just want to give a shout out to Brent Whiteside. Thank you once again for joining us for RAMBOMANIA. And this really cool Rambo knife art GIF submitted to us by Brent Whiteside also. Thank you for this awesome pic, man. I just had to use it for this episode. Fits perfectly in here with what Wallace is doing. So thank you for all the Rambo knives in flashy gift fashion to Mr. Brent Whiteside. You are the man. So, here we go. Question number 1 from the Lyle Q&A for Wallace Lee. Question number 1. I think it's just fantastic that you did a piece like this. What inspired you to go down this completely original route? Now, before I read you the answer, I just want to say that to bring you up to speed and abreast of what was going on is Lyle wrote this amazing Rambo short story that pertains to his prequel novella regarding the inclusion of Jimmy Lyle, the maker of the Rambo knives, into the Rambo universe. So now you know what we're talking about here. Now you know what we're dealing with. This is a thing that I can't believe no one else has not thought to do yet, but I'm really glad that Wallace did. And it's not a long story. If you contact Wallace on his Facebook at Rambo Year 1, you can ask him to sample it. It's not long. It is in English. It's called A Lyle Knife in a Bar. It's an amazing short story. So you can, after the Q&A, maybe you want to venture out there and find it for yourself. Out of respect, I won't read it on the show. Out of respect, I really do think everyone out there should go and pick up this short story for themselves to read, to really get caught in the moment, because Wallace has this really great thing about him where in his writing he can really throw you into the universe. You know, when you're reading it, you really do think you're in this point in time. You know, you really do think that you're going through the motions with Rambo or the other members of the Baker team. It's just, wow. It's just up there with some of the best, I'm not joking, some of the best writing I have ever had the privilege and the joy to come across. And I feel just so fortunate that Wallace is giving us this for free. Not just me, but the whole world, you know, and that he's doing these translations for us. You know, and that would cost a lot of money. That would cost thousands of dollars. And Wallace is doing it for you for free because he loves you. And because he loves what what he's writing about. So, you know, go check it out. Go check it out. Also, Rambo Year 1 on YouTube. So hit up either the one on YouTube or the one on Facebook. Get some stuff from Wallace Lee. Ask him. He's a really great guy. He's a really generous, really awesome, beautiful guy. He will give you, he will send you, you know, what you want. So, and I'm sure he would love to hear from you regarding his awesome works. Is maybe the best way I can describe it. Epic and awesome. So please check out Wallace. I'll stop ranting and raving now. I'll reread question number 1. So question number 1. I think it's just fantastic that you did a piece like this. What inspired you to go down this completely original route? So Wallace writes, one thing about writing many people have never understood, even some good writers, is that writing is the most powerful brainstorming method that exists. This is also the reason why many successful writers suggest people to write a lot, but they don't explain why. It's because when you force yourself to write a lot, you usually get a lot of bad ideas. But if you are strong enough to go on and push through, after a while good ideas start showing up from nowhere. I frankly don't know how I had the idea for this short tale, but I know why I had it. Because I was writing a lot about Rambo. I was in the middle of book 5, near the end of my Rambo saga, when I said to myself, why in the world should an unemployed John Rambo have a so expensive and unusual knife? And I asked myself this question. The whole tale showed up in an instant, from the beginning to the end, and I wrote it immediately down, just as I had it. This is a really great answer to that question. And they'll tell you, every writer I know will tell you the same thing, is practice your craft, hone your craft, really get into it. You're going to make a lot of bad choices before you make the good choices. You're going to have a lot of bad experiences before the good ones. If you want something, you really got to go for it. You got to leave no stone unturned. And I remember, just how dedicated Wallace is to this, is I remember on the eve before he put out the Lyle short, I was talking to him one night, and he was up all night getting it out. It was just pouring out of him. And as a writer myself, when you get to that area of, you can't stop, because it's not going to be the same the next day. Your emotions are not going to be the same. You got to ride that wave. You got to ride it through. So I really just love that. Wallace was taking time out to talk to me at the same time he was finishing his short story. And at the same time he was doing the translation. He was up all night. But you got to ride that wave, man. I know exactly how you feel. Exactly how you feel. So, question number 2. While writing the Lyle short, was there any places you wanted to go with the story that you didn't or decided not to use in the final draft? Wallace writes, no. This tale came down complete from the very first time, and I put it immediately on paper from the beginning to end in an hour and a half. After that, I only adjusted the style. Anyway, this is a highly unusual way of writing, and trying yourself to always write in this way is absolutely wrong. 90% of the time, professional writers are writing. They have a cool beginning and they discover the end of their story while they are writing it. This is the correct way of working for a professional, and the only thing writers should really focus on their work on. But if while doing so they see something better than what they are doing, they must be ready to catch it. And that's true. If you go back and read Stephen King, for example, you can see, Stephen King has always said, I never know how it's going to end until the end. When I can't go a certain way, or when I can't turn a specific corner, that's where it ends. And it's actually ironic I just said that, because question number 3, the answer to it has a little bit to do with that. So